signal that might
Good evening, it's 9:30. I'm Shannon Dietz.
And I'm Rob Coles. There's possible good news tonight. When county officials reassess your home this year, you might not be hit as hard as you thought.
Local assessors will probably do as much as they can to keep tax increases as low as possible. Why? Because many of them want to be reelected. Governor Frank O'Bannon estimated the average homeowner bill would rise anywhere from 13 to 33%. But according to today's Indianapolis Star, that estimate assumes local officials will do their job perfectly and without any regard for who will pay more. Critics are now saying that's unlikely. A new study by the Nexus Group suggests that you will see a 3 to 5% increase because elected assessors will most likely want to help homeowners out. Again, this is simple politics where you have local government officials who want to remain in office in good standing, so they are going to help you out as much as possible within the law. On terror, it's been several months since a serious anthrax outbreak, but Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly isn't taking any chances. The drug maker is committing more than $2 million to a joint venture with the federal government to fight infectious diseases. The goal is to train overseas scientists to combat diseases spread through bioterrorism and natural causes. They plan on making the announcement today in Atlanta at the International Conference on Emerging Infectious Diseases.
Meanwhile, Vice President Dick Cheney says U.S. forces can expect more attacks from al-Qaeda and Taliban fighters. The Vice President announced on CNN's Late Edition that there has been a regrouping effort made by Taliban and al-Qaeda fighters since the conclusion of Operation Anaconda. They are believed to be organizing themselves to launch an attack on coalition forces. Cheney also noted that military activity will continue in the region for a considerable period of time. Time now for our first look at weather. For that, we turn to our News Center forecaster, Wes Klein.
Hello, everyone. It was a pretty messy day outside, but not as messy as it's going to get later tonight as winter does make its return. First forecast tonight will be partly cloudy with a low of 25 and a wind at northwest at 14 miles per hour. And I'll have details in my forecast coming up.
To the Middle East now, where the bloodshed continues. All of this, even as American mediator Anthony Zinni plans another round of truce talks. Israeli troops opened fire at Jordanian border guards, killing 4 suspected militants, an Israeli woman and a Palestinian policeman. Initially, the attackers got away from the border patrol, but were tracked down by helicopters. Talks continue today between Zinni and Israeli and Palestinian security officials.
Topping our look at news headlines from around Indiana, investigators are still looking for a motive in Friday's shooting spree at a South Bend aircraft parts factory. William Lockey killed 4 co-workers, then led police on a chase before killing himself. It's the second business shooting in less than 6 months in northern Indiana. Last December, a man opened fire in a wood products plant in Elkhart, killing 2 and injuring several others.
Pleaded guilty to stealing sacks of gold and silver coins along with old paper money from a collector's home. Mark Vowles and Eric Smith spent currency worth more than $20,000. Vowles received 7-year prison term and Smith got 8 years. Police say the reason they couldn't recover most of the collection was because after the clerks and coin machine operators realized what they had been given, they kept the coins.
Controversy has erupted in Hobart Police Department due to plans to replace the American flag patch on their uniforms. Lieutenant Jeff White says the plan is to create a new patch that honors veterans, police officers, and firefighters. It will also include an American flag within its design. Officers in support of keeping the existing American flag patch have started a petition against the change.
They did it. For the first time since 1992, the Indiana Hoosiers are on their way to the Final Four. I'm Michelle Deneen. Coming up later in sports, we'll recap last night's game and talk in depth with our Sports Extra Roundtable about what the Hoosiers need for a win. Also, Delta High School goes for a state championship and Ball State football starts practice. Stay tuned, sports is coming up.
Good evening, everyone. A pretty messy situation is coming up upon us tonight as winter will make its return, as this is the 4th day of spring, but winter is going to make an impact tonight, later on tonight after midnight. Today's high was 46 degrees. Our normal at this time of the year is 51. Today's low is 25, and our normal low is 33 degrees. Here's the lows for tonight. up here, you can see up here in South Bend will be 22, and Fort Wayne will be 24. Here in Muncie, we'll drop down to 25. Indianapolis will be at 31, and it'll be warmer down to the Ohio River at Evansville with 45. Currently outside, it's light rain with the temperature 34 degrees, with the southeast wind at 8 miles per hour. Satellite image shows a band of cloudiness here in the Missouri, in the Ohio Valley, coming into the Great Lakes, as there is a big snowstorm pretty much out here into the plains, and it's going to be moving our way tonight as Muncie, here in a regional satellite image, shows that it's clear down here towards Evansville, but later tonight we're going to see the cloudiness move in as well as the snow move in tonight. The radar image shows right now you can see a band of rain over northern Indiana, but this will all be changing to snow later on tonight as you get after midnight, as it could create some icy situations on the roads in the morning. Locally, here in the state radar, a moderate band of snow here up to the northern part of the state, as well as clear toward the south. But as I said, after midnight tonight, most of the precipitation will be moving in and probably giving us some major problems here for the morning commute. Surface map shows the cold front right here will be pushing through right here in our area tonight, and it'll be pushing through tomorrow. But then that moderate to heavy snow, as predicted here in Muncie, will probably be around 1 to 3 inches mainly. But Muncie right now is on a snow to mix line, so it's going to be kind of hard to tell if it's going to be all snow, as it could be mainly sleet and ice in the morning. Again, here's the surface map, shows the snow that's out into Iowa, Kansas, and Missouri, as it'll be pushing in our way later on tonight. Tonight's lows here, I called for low of 25, as you'll be seeing in 20s, warmer here to 30s, 40s, and 50s to the south as you get more forward to the south. Tonight, the light rain will be changing to snow and sleet after midnight with a low of 25 and that brisk northwest wind at 15. Tomorrow morning, you'll see some snow, sleet mix, and that possible 1 to 3 total accumulation by tomorrow afternoon with the temperature of 30 degrees and northwest wind at 15. Here tomorrow you can see the low pressure system is going to be right on top of us, bringing you that snow, sleet, and icy mix coming our way. As it pulls out, we are going to have that brisk northwest wind as the low moves through. So tomorrow's highs, again, I'm calling for about 34, 35 degrees tomorrow. And the surface map shows that cold front will be pushing to the south as later in the day it gets. So tomorrow, that snow, sleet, wintry mix, and just be careful out there when you go to school or work in the morning. You got to be careful as it's icy degrees. And 3-day forecast shows Tuesday, another chance of a wintry mix and icy conditions with 37 degrees. Wednesday and Thursday, both partly cloudy days. There's a temperature of 44 on Wednesday, 50 on Thursday. Lows will be in the high 20s to around 33 on Thursday.
Well, thanks, Wes. It's hard to believe that we're only a week away from April.
Yeah, and we got this winter returning tonight, so it's going to be really kind of a mess in the morning, so just be careful.
Okay, thanks, Wes. And joining us now for sports is Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle, I saw the IU-Kent State game yesterday.
Yes, IU absolutely shot the lights out last night. They're going on to the Final Four. Also, Muncie Delta won a state title. We'll have those stories and more coming up next. Welcome back, everybody. You know, in the world of sports, some weekends are a little on the dull side, and then there are those that, well, you almost can't take the excitement. This was definitely one of those weekends. We're going to get to all of it, but first we go now to Joe McGowan at the update desk for sports headlines. What a weekend it's been, Joe.
That's right, Michelle. Last night was some big hockey news, eh? The Detroit Red Wings' Brendan Shanahan scored his 500th career goal in a winning effort against the Colorado Avalanche. Shanny becomes only the 29th player in history to reach the 500 plateau. We'll give you all the money you need to buy a shiny new bike there, youngster. On Thursday, a federal indictment was made public that Sacramento Kings forward Chris Webber and 2 other former Michigan players accepted money from a booster. Webber accepted a total of $280,000 since his freshman year of high school. And on Saturday, Cael Sanderson won his 4th straight NCAA wrestling championship, and he didn't even get a title belt. Sanderson did something that no man has ever done, remained perfect in all 4 years of his college career. He finished his career with a 159-0 record. Michelle, I'm calling you out. You, me, newsroom match tonight.
You're on, Joe. We're breaking out the steel cage for this one. Now on to basketball. The Cardinals were the MAC West champs with a 23-12 overall mark this season. They advanced farther in postseason play than any team in BSU's 81-year history. But all these honors didn't stop South Carolina from eliminating the Cards from the NIT 82-47 Thursday night. The stats for BSU were atrocious as they went 0 for 7 from behind the arc and shot 18% from the field in the first half of this massacre. In the loss, T. Smith led the team with 12 points and 8 boards. It's been a wild ride for Hoosier fans this season. The latest was last night's up-and-down game that ended in victory over Kent State. Nick Jenkinson joins us now with the highlights. Hi, Nick.
Thanks, Michelle. The Indiana Hoosiers were trying to do something they have not done in 10 years, getting to the Final Four. To do that, they had to go through the Cinderella team in this year's tournament, the Kent State Golden Flashes, who happen to be the 10th seed in the South. Let's go to Lexington, Kentucky. Kent State starts with a 3 from Trevor Huffman, but then that's all she wrote as IU went on a 12-0 run. First, Dane Fife almost gets the pass stolen, but hits the 3, and then Coverdale with Dane Fife in the opposite corner hits another 3. Indiana just keeps rolling off the Hornsby screen. Hornsby with another 3. Do you notice a pattern going on here? Coverdale with the pass to Jared Odell for 3. IU just shooting the lights out on Kent State. Then Kyle Hornsby, another 3. Will it ever stop? Then Coverdale with another 3 for the Hoosiers. But he wasn't done as he hits another 3-pointer. And then deja vu all over again. Oh, look at that. Another 3-pointer for the Hoosiers. Then a scary moment in the second half. Coverdale goes down as he lands on the foot of a Kent State player. He did not come back in this game. Kent State takes advantage of it. Antonio Gates with the shot, and then that's all she wrote. Dane Fife with the 3. The Hoosiers go on to the Final Four. They beat Kent State 81-69. They will take on Oklahoma Sooners. They won over Missouri 81-75. Game time from the Georgia Dome will be announced later this week. Michelle, this Bloomington native is one very happy person to see the Hoosiers going back to the promised land. Back to you.
Thanks, Nick. And this Ohio native is still recovering from all of our teams bowing out early. Now on to high school hoop action. Tom Kozrowski is at the update desk. Tom?
Thanks, Michelle. That's right. After the Delta Eagles needed 3 overtimes to defeat Jasper in semi-state, they definitely earned their trip to Conseco Fieldhouse and a chance for their first ever state championship. Let's go out to Conseco Fieldhouse for the highlights. And early on, Delta fans having much to cheer about thanks to Kelly Robbins. He hits the lay-in here at the end of the first half. Delta up 34-30 at the half. Kelly Robbins had 21 points in the first half, but he did make a mistake right there. As Michael Howell with the steal, Harding going on a little bit of a run here. They cut the lead to 4, and then a couple after a Kelly Robbins 3, Adrian Green with the jumper cuts the lead back to 4. Then A.J. Gooden, almost from the same exact spot that Adrian Green hit his jumper, he hits a jumper to cut the lead to 2. But Kelly Robbins to Brad Wilson, and he seals the deal with the layup at the end of the fourth quarter. Delta wins their first ever Class 3A state championship. Congratulations to the Eagles. Final 65-54. Again, Kelly Robbins, 38 points. That's a new Class 3A state championship record. Look at that, 15 of 15 from the line, including 10 of 20 from the field. And Michelle, a quick update in the NCAA world. Kansas destroys Oregon 104-83 behind 25 points and 15 rebounds from Nick Collison. Kansas moves on to the Final Four for the first time since 1993. Michelle, take it away.
Thanks, Tom. To football now, it's that time of year again. Our Cardinal football players are out in full swing preparing for the fall season. Our Mike Jansen was there.
Now it's time. We have signs inside of our locker room that reads that, now it's time. Now it's time to get ready for the 2002 season, and now it's time to get ready for spring practice. Spring practice started on Wednesday, and we work out 4 days a week, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As of this week, we've introduced fundamentals, teaching fundamentals, and we also introduced new plays and new schemes that we want for the 2002 season. And now we got, speaking of new, we got the new football coach. He's our running backs coach, Coach George Carlson. Now, Coach, can you tell everyone how the guys have been treating you since you've been here?
Terrific. I'm coaching the running backs, and we've got 4 outstanding running backs in this football team. They've all worked hard. They've helped me with some things that I wasn't sure how they did it in the past. So everybody's been great. The players have been friendly. And so far, I'm off to a great start.
Can you talk about your expectations on into the end of spring practice and on until the 2002 season?
Well, one of the reasons I accepted this job is Coach Lynch and the entire staff, when I interviewed, were very positive about what this football team is capable of doing. And I know they've taken steps the last couple years moving toward the MAC championship, and that's what we all expect to 2002 win the MAC championship.
Well, we wish you the best of luck and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I guess we can't call him new anymore. He's a veteran quarterback and star of our football team, Talmadge Hill. Now, Talmadge, you had a great season last year. You had a great season the year before. How do you feel coming into spring ball now?
I feel pretty good coming into the spring. I'm using this spring to, to work on some things that personally, that I got to get better at, and I think everyone else on the team is trying to do the same. But I'm healthy. Most of the team is healthy, and we're just working on the fundamentals, just trying to get better.
Now, looking at it as a team, what do you see as expectations on until the end of spring, on until the next season?
I mean, the expectations are just to improve, and I think more than anything, we got to get more consistent. I think everybody's looking for that consistency. I've got to get more consistent. Our whole offense has got to get more consistent. The defense, and if we continue to do that, we're going to improve, and I think that's what we're trying to do.
Well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thanks, Mark.
We got a long season ahead of us and a long spring ball. That's going to do it here. I'm Mike Jansen, NewsCenter 43.
Still ahead on Sports Extra, we'll go in depth to talk about what it will take for IU to overcome Oklahoma in next weekend's Final Four matchup. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Sunday Sports Extra on NewsCenter. I'm Joe McGowan. It hasn't happened in a decade, but now Mike Davis and his Indiana Hoosiers are in the Final Four. And next weekend, they'll take on Oklahoma in Atlanta. So can they pull off another victory, or will they just fall victim to Oklahoma's wrath? Joining me to talk about all of that is our Sports Extra Roundtable, Michelle Deneen, Nick Jenkinson, and Tom Kozrowski. First of all, what was the key to winning for Indiana throughout the tournament? We'll start with Michelle.
I think definitely their shooting. I mean, anytime you shoot 79% from behind the three-point arc, you're going to win games.
I mean, without a doubt, you look at what they did against Kent State. You're not going to stop Kent State unless you shoot with that kind of percentage. With Trevor Huffman, Antonio Gates, Demetric Shaw, you're just not going to stop that kind of offensive attack unless you double that offensive attack, and that's exactly what Indiana did to get the job done.
Watching last night is like watching what they did to Illinois when they hit 18 three-pointers, set a Big Ten and school record. It's just unbelievable. Three-point shooting and believing in each other also.
It's a big part of the team. And Tom, let me ask you this. How will the possible loss of Tom Coverdale affect the team?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think it really will, especially if he's not ready to play in Atlanta. Seems like they kind of center, I don't want to say they center their offense around Tom Coverdale, but I really think he's definitely a key part of it. Just because he can get in the lane, he's a scrappy player inside the lane. They love to put him in the post. He'll just dump underneath with that little up and under. They're going to miss that if Tom Coverdale is not in the lineup in Atlanta.
And there's big talk about Jared Jeffries being the tournament MVP if the Hoosiers go any farther than they already are. And Nick, how has his play boosted the Hoosiers as a team?
Well, Joe, he's such a big inside presence. I mean, he's what makes this team go, and he's got to have a big game against Oklahoma, but I don't think he would be the tournament MVP. There's so many good players in the tournament, like Caron Butler and Drew Gooden from Kansas. But I think for them to go far, he needs to have a big game as long as the rest of the team.
personally, that was what I thought was the one of the main factors in the Kent State win was they just basically Kent State had no answer for Jeffrey, so they just pretty much left the three-point open. And Michelle, did you actually think that Indiana would beat Duke?
No way. I never thought that Indiana had a chance, but now looking back at it, they didn't have any pressure on them. They had nothing to lose. They were complete underdogs. They went in, they played with a lot of heart, a lot of intensity, a lot more than Duke played with, evidently, and they just showed everyone that it's March and they came to play. They were a force to be reckoned with.
Well, if you look at Duke, I mean, they struggled against Notre Dame. And when they struggled against Notre Dame and they saw how Chris Thomas just kind of ate alive their perimeter defense, I knew that IU had a chance.
It kind of exposed a whole different aspect to Duke. Everyone felt that Duke was untouchable.
Exactly, and then all of a sudden they're not. And IU, that gives IU the upper hand right there.
Exactly. And the final question, does Indiana need a prayer to beat Oklahoma, or is it just another game?
I think it's just another game. I mean, you look at it, they've already beaten Duke. If they've already taken down Duke, why can't they take out Oklahoma? What keeps them from, if they stay with their game? Now, the fact that you brought up earlier about Coverdale, if Coverdale is not in the lineup in Atlanta, it could affect their play against Oklahoma.
I definitely agree with you, Tom. I mean, Tom Coverdale has to play, but they also need to step up with Jeff Newton, George Leach, everybody inside.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you very much for joining us. For Michelle Deneen, Nick Jenkinson, and Tom Kozrowski, I'm Joe McGowan.
Welcome back, everyone. The weather recap for tonight. That light rain we're going to have is going to be changing to snow and sleet after midnight. Tomorrow, please be careful as a wintry mix is on its way. It's going to be icy with 1 to 3 inches of accumulation of snow possible. For the 3-day Tuesday, will be still a chance of icy conditions, 37, and Wednesday and Thursday, 44, and a high of 50 and partly cloudy.
Thanks, Wes, and thank you for joining us for NewsCenter Weekend. I'm Rob Coles.
And I'm Sheena Dietz, NewsCenter 43, and as official CNN Student Bureau. Be sure to join us tomorrow at NewsCenter at 5:30.